Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Allied General. I'm the Mysterious JG. I'm recording today from a hotel room in Atlanta. I'm sitting in an incredibly uncomfortable chair. Last time we finished up the reverse of what back in Panzer General like 10 plus years ago I called the Benelux Blitz, but it was the Meuse scenario, I think it's called in this game, and because we crossed the Maas and the Waal and there's the Rhine, various rivers. I don't know why it's called Meuse. I think Meuse is the name of one of the rivers, I thought, that's involved in this whole thing, but I could be entirely wrong about that. Anyway, we basically, this is the British pushing north of the Siegfried Line to retake the Benelux countries from the German occupying armies. And in this version of reality, though, we got a major victory last video. In this version of reality, we took our time and overstrengthened units and got a minor victory, and we didn't quite get. I had like at least one unit that didn't get to full overstrength. And I find it kind of fun of amusing in retrospect that there's a German fort that's sitting here shelling Middelburg and just terrifying the civilian populace. But we are done, and we are ready to move on to what I think is the pretty much the Battle of the Bulge. But we will see here in a moment.
Sir, if I may say so, the entire staff agree that the plaudits from High Command are well deserved. Jerry's Wall yielded with little debate. Even on the heels of this victory, however, we cannot afford the risk of defeat. Our supply lines are stretched thin. First and foremost, we must establish a presence in the Rhineland. Then, in the spring, we can set forth on our drive to Berlin.
Oh, in the spring, eh? I wonder what time of year this is. Didn't put a date up there for us. To the Rhine. December 26, 1944. So we could have some rough weather here. I think we're sticking with engineers so that we don't end up... Like, I kind of wish I could have ground-based commandos with those stats. Engineers won't do us as much good here because there's not as much going on. Although it's the Rhineland. I mean, there's a big old river, the Rhine, in the middle of all of this. But pretty much going to stick with bridging engineers. The Spitfires are now, there is an upgrade from the Spitfire 9 to the Spitfire 14. So let's see, it's 20 more expensive. Air attack goes from 16 to 19. I think what we're paying for. Air attack is going from 16 to 19. That is it. And we have 22,000. How many fighter units have I got? So we're not short of prestige, but at the same time, that's a very small improvement, and it's a fighter that costs 330 versus one that costs 310, but we've already spent the 310, so it's like we are spending a lot to get that improvement. So I got one. This is it is annoying the way that it scrolls. That's one fighter. One fight. Jeez, game. I don't want to just come over here. I don't want to close the deployment window because then I'll lose the turn. Yeah, this is like a really not that responsive. So we've got the 4th German, the 4th Firefly. Okay, so we got the 9th and the 10th. I think I've got 3, but I cannot get this thing to... Trying to figure out how to advance it so that it'll actually show me. There's the 10th and the 9th. and 7th. First, second, third. I guess, yeah, these divisions, it's not like the first tank, second tank, third tank, it's just the first. So we had our 6 divisions of Mosquito, so we got 7, 8, and 9. So we got 3 fighter divisions, the 7th, the 9th, and the 10th. So we will, so that would be 3 times 33. We're basically looking at spending 9,000. No, 3 times 33, not 30. Jeez, they're not 3,000. So we're looking at spending about 900, and we've got like 22,000. So I think we can go, even though it's a very small upgrade, we'll go ahead and get it, just so that we have the very best available. The British aren't like constantly rolling out new Wappets like the Germans seem to be in Allied General. They're kind of like very small iterative upgrades they're making to the fighters and stuff. And it's, as I've kind of gone back and double checked for myself, even the like latest, historically latest scenario that the British can fight it in this game, they're still using the Mosquito, which was available to them in the North Africa campaign. So 7.2-inch pythons, brother. So I think that's it. Lancaster also never upgrades. This game just gave the British a level bomber, and that's the level bomber they have. There was more than one tactical bomber available, although I'm not even remembering now. Can I even get any of the tactical bombers I don't like as much if I wanted to switch? Yeah, the Typhoons and Hurricanes are going to continue to be available, but the Mosquito is the best. It's the Mosquito, and it's the best. All the Punky Boys. Sorry, can't even remember what that is from. The song I was referencing there. Would the Firefly ever upgrade? We've got the Sherman Firefly, which is 230. The Churchills, I was reading a little bit about them previously. The Churchills it was an entirely British designed and manufactured tank, but it's just wasn't really that successful. It had a lot of problems. So the Challenger A30, that costs 210. That's Art Attack 20, Ground Defense 10. Sherman Firefly, Art Attack 20, Ground Defense 12. So the initiative is 11 for the Firefly, and the initiative is 11, soft attack 11, soft attack. Yeah, I mean they're really similar, and the Firefly seems to be just a little bit better, and it's what I already have. 210, 230, Bobonomics. And this is a series that's watched by kind of a subset of my fandom that doesn't necessarily watch my other stuff. Bobonomics is this kind of joke term for the idea that in a video game, if you're trying to figure out what's the best option, the one that costs you the most in-game resources is usually, like if it's the most expensive, it's probably the most expensive for a reason. Some games, like RPGs, they'll occasionally throw an item at you that is intentionally overpriced in the game world. But it's more often than not, whatever's the most expensive is actually the best. So, unless I want to upgrade the Cromwell. For now, I think that's it. Alright, so let's take a look. So basically, the Germans have punched a line, or punched a, what do you call that, a salient? They just, it's a bulge. They've punched a bulge into our line. Are these all American forces down here? And then what I'm curious about is, yeah, no, these are, they're saying that's a British city, but these are American forces. That's British. I'm just curious if there's a layout where, okay, so they are kind of saying that the southern part of this line is the British and the Americans, and the northern part is the British. So, got some British armor, or American armor down here. Although we've had notoriously poor luck using American armor to do anything. I don't know exactly where they're placed, but we need to not just swallow up the salient. They've got a lot of armor in here. I think we need to beat this for, like, I think we need to just, rather than saying like, okay, we're going to aggressively place forces here and slam down the jaws and then move west. I think we need to just finish them here and roll east for the most part. But I mean, honestly, having some forces here moving south and taking like Saint-Vith, that would be a good idea. But I think ultimately we're going to have heavy fighting here, and that's once we beat them, we just move east. And until the very last mission, when we need to get a major victory to capture Berlin before the Russians, we're never in that big of a rush as the Western Allies. Because I've gotten over my thing from years ago in Panzer General where I wanted a major victory in everything. Because I got one non-major victory and I just got nothing but grief at the end. So I'm just like not all that worried about it. So let's certainly we want to put bridging engineers here. Yeah, this is a pretty big German offensive. Because that's a lot of armor. That's some armor. And like we can see here, they've got a lot of anti-air. They've got mobile anti-air at this point. I'm going to spend the whole video just placing my troops, aren't I? Although tell you what, now we've actually got some. This is a thing they hadn't been doing earlier, but I think it reflects the fact that the Germans. Here's a elite half-strength anti-tank unit. But here we finally got like, okay, here's a Panzer unit that's only one medal experience, where that'll be going up against two medal experience American troops. We're finally at a point where the Germans have taken enough losses that they're accounting for the fact that we've got some rookie German troops here. Some of the veterans have been defeated. We're not consistently taking like 1-star tanks against 3-star panzers. Starting to wish I had more. Starting to wish I had more. More tanks than I do. All right, let's see here. I need to have some artillery backing up this unit. Would I rather have artillery to start attacking this city, Rochefort? I really don't know what to do as far as where to put my troops. Because there's obviously, I mean, there's a whole, this is a very densely packed map. You may be able to afford to kind of hold here for a while. Like I could probably pull this unit back. But having a 5-star unit here holding it with some artillery behind it wouldn't be a bad idea either. And we've already got this city. Like, I don't know. See, I don't know where they'll attack from, but obviously, like their idea is to push west and drive in this salient. But they could start expanding in other directions. Yeah, I didn't mean to spend this much time being this indecisive, but I think we have to kind of let the Americans fight for themselves in the South for a little bit. And because we don't have, I think if we were playing against the Americans, there'd be more British troops just generically laid out auxiliary units, and we'd have fewer American troops in the South because the idea would be most of our forces are placed in the South, the core units. I think I have to be prepared to take some damage from the mobile anti-aircraft until they start, moving to attack my bombers and then leaving themselves open to being attacked by ground forces as a result. All right. So I placed one bridging engineer unit. We've got artillery here that I can probably bomb. I'd like to get rid of those. Love to get rid of some of this armor before I start trying to move anywhere else. How much am I going to be trying to do over here? Here, I think I might just be holding for a while. I don't like the idea of them sneaking up here and attacking this artillery. So let's get some artillery behind it. Hmm. Guns, guns everywhere, not a drop to drink. Move this gun back and have these guys retreat and just let them kind of sit there. I kind of want to wipe them out, though, pretty early in this whole thing. Man, there's just more troops everywhere you turn. This is second to last mission, so I suppose I should be expecting some challenge. Wasn't planning to spend the whole 30 minutes just deploying troops and not getting a turn taken, though. Yeah, maybe I want to start slamming the trap from up here. Have some really elite tanks beat these guys down and start taking these cities so they can't deploy. But I don't know. This is going to be a tough fight. There's a lot of German armor. German armor is almost always the thing that's giving us the most grief. Let's give the Americans a little bit more firepower down here. Because I realize I want my inexperienced tank unit back here where they're kind of behind the lines a bit. Alright. Oh, that took so freaking long, guys. Alright, well, let's throw down a save so that we can not do all of that again. We haven't found any American air power or any German air power yet. I think there's very little air power on this map for Germany. We can buy one core unit, and I think it's got to be a tank, considering how ill-equipped I feel to fight this much German armor right now. So I don't even know if I should be using my air to pound these cities at all. I feel like I should be using air to soften up their armor. So is this artillery or is this a tank? This is a tank, and that's the thing. The Tiger tanks are really good. That's an experienced one. A little bit more even here. But this is like the farthest they've advanced. I think we could. It makes sense to use tactical bombers to wipe out the tanks that have advanced furthest into our territory. So in that case, unit that I left. No, damn it, no. Unit that I left here might be able to handle this without needing air support. Yeah. The Tigers are a little bit more vulnerable to bombardment than these anti-tank guns seem to be. They just seem to be built to like withstand anything. Only got one more target where I can probably just take away half of their, like near half of their actual combat power. This parachute unit, like I don't know about them. I don't know what we can do for them. They are dropped into a very bad spot. Well, no, I mean they're not dropped. They have been kind of encircled at this point. Honestly, yeah, this might be it. Just take out some of this before they start shelling our infantry. Hmm. Because I could start in on these guys. Do you? Yeah, those guys need to actually actively move to my hex and attack. Traditionally, I would bomb these with suppression and then bomb something nearby, but I don't know how quickly I need to start taking cities. I need to start killing armor. Oh, they do count as air defense fire to adjacent. I didn't think they would. Yeah, they're mean. They still did damage, even though they were almost all suppressed and were attacked by an elite unit. They still managed to do some harm there. So you guys, I didn't realize that you're air defense, and then these guys are anti-air. Being said, they couldn't do too much here. Now, what are you? You're level bomber. Let's see what the Americans brought to the party as far as air. So we've got level bomber and a fighter, tactical bomber and a fighter. So the Americans didn't really bring all that much air, to be perfectly honest. That went pretty good. Just trying to chip away at these guys who could be trying to take this city, because I don't necessarily know that I want this infantry to be attacking. Although I think I will here just to get rid of these guys. And then you stay put. And you get elite replacements? No, because you've got units that are right next to you. So I'm going to try to finish moving all of our air units and then call it a video, because we're going to go slightly long, but I took so long placing my troops. I feel a little bad. Just hope they don't come up here and attack that artillery. I said I was going to move my planes first. I just need to commit to some kind of plan here. Alright, I will do this, even though it's kind of silly. Oh, lost one. I hate that, but it is what it is. But they're now completely out of ammo. So these guys will be able to try to attack. They'll have to pick a target and attack them. It's just, I don't think this is a good idea, but yeah, I just wanted to see. Oh, that was a hell of a result. Yeah, let's go ahead and actually take advantage of that and finish this off. I mean, I don't want to throw away everything trying to do it, but if we can hold Bastogne, that's that's certainly good. Yeah, I don't know that we want to. So right now, if you were to march in here, you would take heavy losses because of the artillery, which we would have to. Well, I mean, it's not impossible if we defeat this unit. If we can defeat this unit outright, this tank could get down here and attack that artillery. I think that's actually what we want to do. All right. So let's call this a video. And when we come back next time, the British will continue to try to save the Americans' bacon. Americans don't even know how to cook bacon correctly. These little thin strips, they're not cooking it like proper rashers. I far, far prefer American bacon to the British style of cooking it. Anyway, guys, so I'll catch you next time for more of this.